In this video, we'll go on to look at problem number 16. In problem number 16, we want to determine whether the lines through the pair of points are perpendicular or not. We want to recall from the previous problem that parallel lines have the same slope. But here we're asked about perpendicular lines. And perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposite. That refers to their signs. One will be positive, the other will be negative, and reciprocal. So let's take an example of what we mean by that. Is 2, then its reciprocal slope, rather its perpendicular slope, will have the opposite sign. So whereas the first slope was positive, the second slope will be negative, and will be a reciprocal of the first slope. So if the first slope was 2, or 2 over 1, the second slope will be negative 1 over 2. If the first slope was negative 3 over 4, then its perpendicular slope will be positive 4 over 3. So perpendicular slopes, perpendicular lines, have slopes that are opposite and reciprocal. Now let's take a look at number 16. We have point A, which is 2, 0, and point B, which is 1, negative 2. And we'll call the slope of the line that passes through those 2 points as M sub AB. Recall that that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I've labeled the points in purple there. So y2 is negative 2 and y1 is 0. And so we have negative 2 minus 0. Then x2 is 1 and x1 is 2. And so the denominator is 1 minus 2. And that leaves us with negative 2 over negative 1, which simplifies to positive 2. Then let's look at the second pair of points. The slope of the line passing through point CD we will call M sub CD. So recall that C, which is 4, 2, is our x1, y1, and D, which is negative 8, 4, is x2, y2. So we start with the formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 is 4, y1 is 2, so that leaves us with a numerator of 4 minus 2. x2 is negative 8, and x1 is 4, so that leaves us with a denominator of negative 8 minus 4. Simplifying that, we get 2 over negative 12, and that simplifies to negative 1/6. And because our slopes are not reciprocals of one another, they do have opposite signs, but they must be both opposite and reciprocal, and so these lines are not perpendicular. Let's go on to problem number 18. Number 18, if the line passing through the points A, 1 and 5, 8 is parallel to the line passing through the points 4, 9 and A plus 2, 1, what is the value of A? Well, the main thing to recall here is that parallel points have the same slope. And so we need to find the slope of the first line and set it equal to the slope of the second line. Now the slope of the first line, which would be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, is 8 minus 1. And I'll simplify that to just say 7. x2 minus x1 is 5 minus a. Slope should be equal to the slope of the second line. And that passes through the point A plus 2, 1. Rather, that passes through the line through the point 4, 9, and secondly through A plus 2, 1. Now, we call these x1, y1, x2, y2 again, but you shouldn't confuse them with the first point. We're just using that same notation. I could just as easily call them x3, x4. And so once again we have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that would give us 1 minus 9 for the numerator, which I would simplify to negative 8. And I'd have a plus 2 minus 4 in the denominator, and that would simplify to a minus 2. Now since these lines are parallel,